Clayton State University's Laker Wildlife Initiative is leading the charge to protect wildlife. And later this week, they're hosting a summit to train more people to detect, investigate, and prevent illegal wildlife trade. Joining us to talk more about it, the co-leader of the Laker Wildlife Initiative, Dr. Andrea Allen. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. So tell us about the summit and what you hope comes from it.
Yes, so this Wednesday and Thursday, we're hosting an inaugural summit called Where Forensics Meets the Wild, and I'm super excited about hosting this. We will have our partners from the Wildlife Forensic Academy who will be alongside us presenting. And what we're looking to do during this two-day summit is really to raise awareness, educate, and train attendees on all kinds of topics related to wildlife forensics. So the first day, what attendees can expect to see and hear are a variety of presentations, again, around a variety of topics on wildlife forensics. We got AI in there, we've got some veterinarian topics, we've got legal issues, we've got law enforcement. And then on Thursday, this is what I'm really excited about, we're doing workshops. And so this is where attendees get to do hands-on training. We'll have a veterinarian doing a wildlife necropsy, which is the animal version of a human autopsy.
Wow.
I'll be leading some outdoor wildlife crime scene investigations. And so again, it's meant to be a fun, exciting 2 days, but also full of lots of learning and experiential, hands-on knowledge gain. Yeah.
You mentioned investigations. This issue of wildlife crime, I think, might surprise some people. Maybe they don't realize the extent in which it happens and the impact to the world economy. I was reading it's up to $2 trillion a year.
Yes. So with all crime, it is very difficult to fully estimate its impact, but the ones that are out there are anywhere from $1 to $2 trillion. And it is a major global issue, and it's one that happens here stateside. We've got plenty of trafficking that goes on through Atlanta, with Atlanta being the world's busiest airport. We also have issues here in Georgia of poaching. For instance, I just saw a story yesterday about eastern box turtles that a package of 26 of them stuffed in socks were obtained. And so this is something that, again, it goes from one corner of the earth to the next.
I was just going to ask you what kind of crimes, but then you answered it. So it's like the smuggling of animals illegally into the United States or back and forth any place in the world.
Yes, and then there's also issues of simply poaching just for trophies. Here in the United States, people poach bears. They like to have the skins and the claws. Alligators for their feet, their skin for clothes. Snakes. It's really quite a varied topic. And the other thing, too, you mentioned earlier with its global impact. I mean, it's not just the impact of wildlife, but these things co-occur with other forms of organized crime like drug trafficking, weapon trafficking, and human trafficking for labor and sex.
A really important point, and we hear often about the international airport in context of those other crimes as well. So this is an important kind of spoke in that wheel when you talk about trying to stop the crime that's happening in and through our city at the world's busiest airport. What does it actually look like to train someone to fight wildlife crime? I'm so curious.
Oh, that's a great question. And it really will look different depending on where you are. For instance, if you're at a port of entry and near the ocean where shipping containers are coming through, that's going to look very different from, per se, if you are a TSA agent who is scanning someone's luggage. What you're looking for, the scope, the extent of what you're examining. This is also going to be different from, for instance, our Department of Natural Resource officers here in the state of Georgia who may go out to investigate someone who's illegally hunting. All of these are wildlife crimes. They're different. They're different in their nature. They're different in their quantity. And of course, the response and how you train is going to be different. And that's why doing these types of trainings that we're doing at the summit this week is important, because you get to see and realize what a varied topic this is. And in order to fully and wholly address the issue, we need to have very targeted responses and targeted ways that we're training people.
And this conversation might even be sparking a career idea for someone who didn't realize this was a need, and maybe their interests would fill it perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. And that's something that I'm working on doing here at Clayton State, that makes us unique, but also that allows us to impact in a positive way this global problem. And so, something that we're doing here is we have courses that we are going to be teaching soon, on how to investigate, again, wildlife crime. So, having people putting on the PPE suits, going out to mock crime scenes, getting out there photographing, sketching, documenting, and collecting evidence. And this will also go beautifully with our study abroad program that we're looking to take students on to the Wildlife Forensic Academy in South Africa. And so it's really the opportunity to show students that, again, wildlife crime is this global problem. It's vast and it varies based on where you are. So here again in the United States, here in Georgia, maybe we're talking about eastern box turtles, but over in South Africa, it may be that rhino or the elephant that's being poached for its tusks.
So great to hear what's happening there at Clayton State University. Keep us posted, Dr. Allen. We can't wait to hear what's next.